Zuckerberg.
I know, right? And you're at the mercy of Google with those. They change their algorithm, and your traffic goes crazy. Your traffic craters, and he was going to buy that domain like a week after I bought it. I don't know. I don't know what to call myself. A newsletter writer.
Welcome to the Venture into Moving podcast with your higgity host, Nate Becker. That's me.
Welcome, everybody. This is Nate with Venture into Business podcast, and today I have Derek Carlson from Ben Buzz.
Hello.
Hello. So, which is my favorite publication. Can you call it a publication? What do you even call it?
Newsletter.
And it comes out twice a week.
Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 a.m. sharp.
Right into the old email inbox.
Yep. No algorithms. Take it away. It'll get there.
Yeah, and I get it, and I usually go back to it like 2-3 times, even like within the same week. I'll go back to like, oh, what did he say?
Yeah.
That's right, because there's other places in town that tell you the happenings, but how did you? All right, back up. What's your typical work week like? How do you find all these things that are going on in town?
Typical work week. Mondays and Thursdays are busy. I'm on the computer all day, essentially, looking at Facebook events, looking at the source, looking at the bulletin, looking at There's 1,000 event calendars in town.
Yeah.
And nobody looks at them. I mean, people do, but
I try to, but it's hard. It's hard to get through. Like, I don't know why. I see a lot of ads, or I see a lot of things that don't interest me.
There's a lot of clutter on there, a lot of repeating events that people put on there and forget about and aren't happening anymore. And so it's a lot of sorting through what's actually happening, what people care about. So I'm on Instagram all the time. I find a lot of cool events on Instagram, stuff happening that doesn't show up on those calendars. And that's, I think, what people really enjoy is finding those kind of hidden gems. It's like, oh, that's a cool event that interests me. Maybe it only interests 20 people, but reaching those 20 people is pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of sorting around the internet, physically actually writing the newsletter.
Do you have your go-tos for on the Instagram? Like, do you have people or influencers that you tend to go through? Like, oh, John always knows what's happening. Or
Not really. It's just whatever shows up in my feed. But then, I don't know. 2 weeks ago, Instagram stopped showing me any posts from people I follow, and it just shows me a whole list of ads. And so I've been trying to get Instagram to correct it, and they have no support. And so it's.
So you're only getting ads?
Yeah, it's just a whole list of ads. And I've tried resetting it. I've tried uninstalling the app. And
on the Ben Buzz, you can still post?
Like on my feed, if I'm looking at who's posting stuff, there's a set you can go to and see it, but it's all messed up right now. So
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's kind of a maddening that you can't reach anyone at Instagram to fix it.
How could you?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
I know, right? Good times. That's Mondays and Thursdays I'm writing. The rest of the week it's a lot of kind of back end work. If I'm feeling ambitious and taking on new projects, it's a lot of working on that. But it also gives, I have 2 young kids that are in school, and so I drop them off and I work till 2 p.m. and then I go and pick them up, and that's kind of the end of my day. And it works out well for that. So.
Good. How old are your kids?
6 and 8.
6 and 8.
Yep.
Nice. Mine are 16 and 18. They're a decade ahead of you. Wow, that's crazy. So where did the idea even come from for the Ben Buzz?
So I was running a couple websites. I had a woodworking website a couple years ago. I had a travel website. And you're at the mercy of Google with those. They change their algorithm, and your traffic goes crazy. Your traffic craters, and
there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can. I mean, you can kind of chase it, but they'll tell you one thing and they'll do something else, and so you're running you're running blind half the time. And I just got tired of being at the mercy of that. And so I was kind of thinking, I need a hedge of what can I build. And an email list is kind of like real estate in the online world. Like there's no algorithm that can take that away from you. You own that.
Are there a lot of things like, I would have not thought of it. I don't have that thought process, but so you just go straight to the email. So explain to me, because I don't really understand what an algorithm is. or how it can be hidden, like you said, on your news feed. I don't know how.
So you go to Google and you say, what's the best restaurant in Bend?
Yeah.
Google has an algorithm that's going to say, what should I show them for the best restaurant in Bend? Say you have a website about restaurants in Bend. One day you can show up at the very top of the results. A week later, you could be gone.
And it's just a whimsical thing? Google doesn't tell you why? Or
They'll give you some info, but it's
all right.
A lot has come out of they've said one thing and then done something else. So they're directing you down this path. Meanwhile, they're taking money on this side.
Do no evil, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you came up with the idea for Ben Buzz.
I did not come up with the idea.
Oh, you didn't?
It is I came up for the Bend version. But
okay.
there's a guy that runs one in Annapolis, Maryland, named Brian.
Shout out to Brian.
He's been doing it for like 4 years and just killing it. And I just happened to listen to a podcast, and he's talking about the business of it, and the light bulb went off. And
what's his podcast called?
He was on someone else's podcast.
I
don't even remember which one it was. But yeah, he's killing it, and it was like that light bulb moment. Like, this is exactly what I want to do. And I bought the domain the next day, and I sent out the first newsletter 4 days later.
It was just available, Ben Buzz?
Yeah.
That seems like kind of it could be for anything. Gardening, lots of things.
Yeah.
Wow. .com?
Yep.
Woo, baby.
It's funny. I actually talked to someone a couple months later, and he's like, he was going to buy that domain like a week after I bought it. He's like, he was going to start a newsletter. He had the whole, like, he was going
whole
through
thing.
It's the same thing. He's like, I'm glad you did it because you're killing it. But
you are.
He runs a mountain biking newsletter now. It's pretty cool. But,
oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an advertiser in your newsletter, and I know that it's getting eyeballs because whenever I have an ad out, at least one or two of my friends either sends me the ad or screenshots it or texts me or calls me.
That's awesome.
And says, I found you and those are almost always my adventurer friends. So I know you're reaching those who want to adventure out in Bend.
Yeah.
Skiers, snowboarders, especially right now.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people that it's still weird to wrap my head around of a conversation starter for people. Like,
it is.
People say we have a group text where we talk about what's going on for the weekend from what was in the Bend Buzz. And, it's wild that the newsletter is having that big of an impact on just people's lives and their plans for the weekends and the weeks. And,
well, I think for me at least, one of the big reasons is it's not complicated. Like we were saying earlier, it's laid out in like as easy to understand and read, and there's nothing flowery about it. This is the event, this is the date, this is the time, this is the event, date, time. You know.
Once you nail how people consume content online, they skim. People aren't. I mean, there's people that read it word for word because I'll point out my typos every once in a while. But
almost with that semicolon, bro.
I know, right? Luckily, I'm a bad enough writer where it's just so awful that people. I think it disarms people.
Bless his heart.
Exactly. I have no background in writing. I have no background in journalism. I have,
you said you're not a journalist.
Nope.
You're not a journalist. I mean, what are you doing if it's not journalism, right? I mean, I guess you're just reporting on. You're not putting your own spin on it at all. You're just regurgitating the facts.
Yeah, I mean, Bend has, the Central Oregon Daily. They have the Bulletin. They have the Sword. They have great journalists in this town.
A lot of journalists
that put in a lot of work, and so I want to send traffic their way for the reporting they're doing. And so I'll take, hey, I see a cool story here. I'll put it in the Buzz. Put a link out there. I could send a couple hundred people to their website. Help them get a little ad revenue and get some eyeballs on their stories and highlight what they're doing.
Good.
So I'm more of a aggregator. I don't know. I don't know what to call myself. A newsletter writer.
I got a newsletter, guys. Now, what's your target audience, and how's it evolved over the editions?
Parents for sure. I found as a parent of young kids, there'd be big events going on. There'd be like Fall Fest, and we'd drive by the week after it and see the signs. Like, wait, how did we not know this was happening?
Well, Fall Fest is coming last week.
Yeah,
that's
like
right.
How did we miss this? And it's every you go to the source and it's there, you go to the bulletin, it's there, but we just weren't looking. And so it's like we just need.
I miss First Friday every week.
Yeah.
And it's every First Friday.
I know, right?
Forget about it.
And that was a big thing. Is just there's got to be an easy way to get that information in front of people.
Yeah.
People were doing this. People were doing this style newsletter before me, and so I just took it. And
did you worry that it was too antiquated, like too old school of a way to do it? Ooh, an email newsletter that seems so 2001 or whatever.
Newsletters are making a comeback big time. Yeah. People are tired of algorithms. People are tired of AI being told, here's what a computer thinks you should be interested in. Versus I get emails all the time, people saying, I'm glad there's a person behind this. I'm glad you're going through these events. You're finding things that are interesting, and you're sending them out. Like they really appreciate that. There's a human touch behind it.
Yeah, there is. Well, what edition are you at right now?
Say that again.
What edition are you at? What you put out how many
Oh, it did.
publications? Or...
Oh, I'm at like 80 probably.
Okay.
So I do 2 a week. I started July 5th. I think was my first one.
Do you remember your first one?
No.
No. You don't remember putting it out and wondering how the world is going to receive it?
I mean, I was definitely. I think it went to 50 people because I posted on Reddit. I didn't have anything yet. I posted on Reddit. It was like, hey, I'm starting this newsletter. Here's what it's going to cover. Here's a link to sign up if you want. And people were like, hey, I'd really like to check it out before I sign up. And I hadn't written anything yet. So I was like, oh. So I real quick, I wrote something up and put it in like a Google Doc and linked to the Google Doc. And they're like, this is what it's going to kind of look like. And people were like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll sign up. And yeah, it took a while to get comfortable. I mean, I hit send now and I'm still like terrified I screwed something up. And someone's going to get mad about something, but.
Whatever. So you're up to 80 editions. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot to me. That's what it feels like. And you just jumped into it. How were you? You said you got onto Reddit and you were able to find your first readers there. How did it snowball from there? Because you're up to more than 50 readers now. I heard, right?
Yeah, I think I'm at 60 now.
So you got all the way up to 60, my man. 60.
No, we should hit 10,000 within a week or two.
Okay.
I think we're at like 9,700 as of this morning.
Okay, well, after this airs, you'll have another 14 more.
Heck yeah. That's what I need. Yeah, like Reddit was huge at first. Like that, Reddit's kind of a weird place sometimes.
It's so weird.
And sometimes you'll just, little things, people just turn on you, but the Ben subreddit they accepted it.
It's
they
kind of
were
scary,
awesome.
the Ben subreddit.
It is at times, yeah. You never know what you're going to get.
You voice your opinion at the wrong time.
One time I recommended the wrong donut place, and it was bad.
You recommend Richard's Donuts? I'm a big fan of Richard's Donuts.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think I said something like they're all kind of the same.
Oh.
And
it was.
Well,
you knew you were going to start a fight.
It was, sometimes you got to be controversial for the clicks, for the engagement. But
for the eyeballs. That's funny. Well, so how long did it take for you to start getting you said you went from 50 to about 10,000 in 80 episodes. What was it, a steady curve?
It's been like 1,000 a month pretty consistently.
Okay.
I've had a couple months where it's 750, a couple months where it's 1,250, but we've held steady at 1,000.
Okay.
And most of it's ads. I run ads on Facebook and Instagram, just little clips and say, hey, you want to know what's going on in Bend? Sign up, and it works well.
So that's how you're getting in front of eyes more.
Yep.
Do you still mess around with going on to Reddit once in a while, or is it that was just your start?
I did it for probably 2 months, and eventually it just kind of.
They're like, I got it, buddy.
Yeah, the algorithm on Reddit saying, hey, people, you've done this a lot. We're not going to show it to as many people, and you can see your metrics kind of trend down over time. And same thing with Facebook groups. I did that for a while, and over time it just kind of peters out. So
I found Facebook to still be a good revenue driver for us. With all the time, people in Facebook they'll ask to a group, "Hey group, what's the best mover in town?" And the group will come back with a lot of higher ground movings.
Oh, that's awesome!
And I love that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's huge when you can get other people recommending it. And,
yep.
I see the referrals that come through for the newsletter, and every time I send it out, they all see a batch of referrals come through from people that sent it to their friends or. They're trying to get that free cup of coffee.
Oh yeah,
seven referrals, you get a free cup of coffee. So.
On the 7th referral, you get a free cup of coffee. Yeah. Are you making the coffee yourself, or?
Yeah. Come to my house.
Perfect. Well, I'll meet you.
You will get a gift card in your email for a local coffee shop where
Sweet.
they can make a much better coffee than I can.
I like it. All right on. Well then, how are you finding your advertisers? You said it's advertiser driven.
Yep.
How are you finding your advertisers? Like I said, I'm one of them. How'd you find me?
I found you because you moved my parents to the coast.
Exactly.
And they said, these guys were awesome. And I said, I'm going to give them a call and reach out. And the rest is history.
It's been fun. We've been with you a few months, like what, 3, 4?
You've done 5. You got, 5 months now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
See? We've been with you for a minute now.
Yeah, at first I was reaching out to people. I was kind of making connections at first and starting slow. Every newsletter I send out, I have a little link that says, "Hey, you want your ads? Want to see your ad here?" click this button.
Yeah.
And I get everything now is referrals. I don't do any cold calling.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Cold calling is the worst.
Every once in a while, if there's someone I really want to see in the newsletter, I'll go after them. But I've done it maybe 3 times in the past 5 months.
Okay, let's pretend that 100 people come at you that they want to advertise, or 10 people come at you they want to advertise in your newsletter. Mm-hmm. Are you picky, or are you saying yes, give me the money? Or how does that work? Will you let anybody advertise? Have you ever had anybody advertise or try to advertise with you, and you're like, I'm not putting that in there?
Yeah, we've had to just said this isn't a good fit for the audience, good fit for the newsletter.
That was you being PC about it?
Yeah, I don't need to ruffle any feathers, But yeah, for the most part, it's space. Like people want, hey, I'm a company that specializes in events in the summer. I want some spring ads, and I don't have anything available till July right now. So it's
Mr. Big Shot.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, if we had talked a week ago, I could have said, yeah, we got spots in May, but it's been a busy week.
Good.
So it's been cool.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I love to hear that local businesses are picking up right now because, as you know, through the winter, if you're not relying on the winter for your business, it's crippling your business.
Yep.
It cripples a lot of businesses. I mean, I'm not unique. My business slows down. No one wants to move during Christmas,
Yep.
New Year's, and then February comes around. There's usually too cold or too much snow. No one wants to move on the ice.
Yep.
So we're like Bambi out there.
That's why they're calling you though. Let you slide around versus.
Yep. We do. We have our proprietary tips and tricks.
Yeah.
To move in the snow for sure, because I mean it snows every year. It's no surprise for sure. Well, then I already asked you this one, I think, but how do you stay so connected? You said you stayed connected by going to Facebook, Instagram, scouring Source Weekly,
Yep.
Men Bulletin, just being connected.
I spend way too much time on my phone. That's
okay.
I do. I get out a lot. I chat with folks. Yeah, I chat with folks a lot. I've made a lot of good connections in the community. There's so many cool business owners here. Like people are just willing to chat. We're all trying to figure it out,
Yeah, we are.
We're all trying to make a buck. We're all trying to figure it out. And there's a lot of people in town that are really willing to help each other. Okay. That's been really cool.
Do your readers? Can you call them readers? Like, because
subscribers.
Subscribers.
Readers. Yeah.
Do they? Have you found something they're requesting a lot? Like, hey, we really love it when you tell us that there's mountain biking events going on. You get feedback like that?
I don't get direct feedback, but I can see the data. So I can see what they click on. And so I can see spas kill it. Spa people out there. Buy some ads.
Like a pool?
No, like a massage or like wellness spas.
Oh my gosh. So I need to go to one so bad. I got my lower back is trying its best to throw out, and I think I need cucumbers in my eyes right now.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I've had a few lately. Go check them out,
Do you have any spa advertisers?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'll check out your publication.
And every time a spa opens up in town, and I have a little business happening section, and I'll write about businesses that are opening or closing or whatever. Every time I post a spa, it just crushes it. Like people just love spas.
Yeah. I love to buy a spa day as a gift card, as a surprise for the wife, as something for Ruby, who you just met, one of our ops manager. I mean, buying a day of relaxation is like priceless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Especially you got kids at home, Hey,
kids can't come to the spa. All right, well, how do you find all this time? Like you said, you got your nose in your phone. You're never stagnant, is what it seems from an outsider's perspective. Like even me trying to get a hold of you today, I might be a few minutes late. I'll be hanging out with a chiropractor or whatever you're doing. How do you do it? I mean, do you just drink coffee all day?
I do drink coffee all day.
You don't sleep?
I drink a lot of coffee. No, it's not. It's a lot of work, but I've gotten pretty good at managing my time at this point. I've kind of gotten the rhythm of what I need to get done, what my processes need to look like to bang the newsletters out, and be able to turn things off in the evening. Not let this be a 24/7 business.
Is this your only stream of income? Do you have any other?
Yep. For me personally,
you're all in.
Yeah, I also have a wife who has a real job. So.
Okay, I have a wife too, but her and I have the same job, so we're all in on this
there
right
you go.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a couple other ideas for newsletters. I might start on the side.
Do you want to elaborate, or you kind of keep those close
No,
to the
I'm
chest?
still. I haven't launched them yet, so
Okay.
I'm still kind of working on the details.
It only took you're only a week ahead of the other Ben Buzz guys, so.
Yeah, I know. Got to stay ahead.
Okay, well then, if the buzz could positively change one thing here in Central Oregon, if you could be a changer or like the tinder for some change, what would it be for you? Do you have any kind of?
I've done it a few times in there, but I want to introduce people to people doing cool stuff in town. Whether it's they're running a nonprofit or a charity, they're an artist just putting out cool art for the town.
Yeah.
People that will come to me and say, "Hey, I want to advertise, but I don't have the budget for it." I'll give them space, and I'll say, "Hey, we'll put you in there."
Unless it's in the spring.
Unless it's in the spring, and I'll make space for them. I've told a number of artists, just send me whatever you want to send me, promote whatever you want to promote.
I think that's huge.
I'll put you in there.
That would make me want to be a subscriber if I wasn't already a subscriber, knowing that there's someone putting small artists, for example, on a pedestal, or a platform or a soapbox.
Yeah.
Because Central Oregon and Bend especially, we love our local, our small artists, but sometimes it's hard to know where they're at or what they're doing, or it's hard to get out of your own way and experience anything right now. And
Bend, it's expensive here. It's hard if you're a small artist. It's hard to make it here.
Yeah.
And so if I can give them that little boost and give them that little bit of exposure, and I had when I first started the newsletter. So I started in July. I had a You Pick Flower Farm reach out mid-August-ish. I was like, "Hey, we're doing You Picks. Can you put me in the newsletter?"
Okay.
Sure, I'll throw it in there. You're a new business, small business. Sure, I'll throw you in there. And they come back on Monday. They said, "We had our busiest day ever. We sold out the whole weekend.
No.
We got invited to the Redmond Farmers Market because they saw us in there. Like, it was huge to kind of validate the business and show that what it can become." And that was that first
Hey, you see, you got a little bit of power.
That was that first moment where I realized how many people were reading the newsletter, how many people were acting upon what they saw in the newsletter.
Yeah, and I think that maybe it's just me, but I feel like if we have 1,000, like for my social media, if I get 1,000 views, I'll go in there and I'll look that I only had 100 views for more than 10 seconds, kind of thing.
Yep.
Where it feels like people who check out the Ben Buzz, they're not just 3-second viewers. They pay attention and they come back like I do.
Yep. And I can see it. I can see unique opens. So if I have 10,000 subscribers, I can see that 7,000 opened it. And I can see that there were 14,000 total opens. So people are going back twice. On average, everyone's going back twice to the newsletter to check out events, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you're getting a lot of eyeballs on it multiple times. And
Yeah.
it's not just a kind of brain rot Instagram reel that people are scrolling through.
So is it just to my email, or can I also go to benbuzz.com?
You can go to benbuzz.com.
Okay.
So it goes to the email, then they're all posted online.
Okay.
So you can go back and read my first newsletter if you want.
Here we go.
It looks pretty much the exact same as my current newsletter.
You found your gold from the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you said you have some future goals for other publications, but what about for the Ben Buzz? You want to just keep on keeping on?
Yeah, just keep growing. I have my 1 year goal was to hit 10,000 subscribers.
You hit it.
I'm going to be there in a couple weeks, a couple months ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Next goal is 20,000, and just keep going from there. I mean, eventually we're going to get to a saturation where that growth is going to plateau a little bit, but it's hard to know where that is.
Yeah, I mean, until you have as many subscribers as you do residents in Central Oregon, keep pumping it.
Yep.
You want everyone on.
Exactly.
Well, do you have any advice for anyone outside of Central Oregon that's thinking of starting their own buzz type publication?
Just start it. Don't overthink. I was a classic overthinker.
Mm-hmm.
Paralysis by analysis, and looking into all the numbers and what could this.
Well, you're a smart guy. Smart people tend to think too hard.
I'd get my spreadsheets out.
Yeah,
it's just too much. And so this one, I was like,
my 2 different colored pens out.
Yeah, I bought the domain. I sent out the first newsletter 4 days later. I just went for it. And I use Beehive for my newsletter service. You can get a free subscription up to 2,500 subscribers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you can send newsletters for free. Other than your time, there's no cost associated with it.
I was actually thinking about, and for many years I thought about doing a publication just like what you're doing, but through Higher Ground Moving, just trying to say, hey, keep thinking about Higher Ground Moving, and while you think about it, here's some cool stuff going on.
Oh, I mean,
but just the thought of trying to do that got me so overwhelmed with oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this?
Yeah. And it's hard from a business perspective. How do you make it fun and not overly commercial, you know?
Exactly.
And so that's a hard balance. But once you get people in your ecosystem, though, you have their email address.
It's true.
And
you're building trust.
That can't be taken away from you. I mean, they can unsubscribe, of course.
Yeah, they can. But you're building trust, and if you repeatedly do what you say you're going to do, people are going to repeatedly open the emails and look through what's going on, and then read their higher ground moving advertisement halfway down the page.
I haven't missed a newsletter yet, so I'm waiting for that day when a kid gets sick and I'm typing at 4 a.m. or something.
Exactly, hitting just at 1 minute before.
Yeah.
Well, has the buzz changed you as a person since you started it 80 editions ago?
It's made me a lot more connected to the community,
of course,
and that's been really cool. And just seeing the people doing stuff in town, it's been really cool to get to know. So I feel like I'm more open and willing to help out when I can, just knowing the people behind the projects, behind the businesses. And,
sweet.
When I see higher ground moving trucks, I give a thumbs up,
2 thumbs. And we're like, who's this guy giving us thumbs up? No, we actually get that a lot. And I tell my guys, like, hey, we need to always drive like someone's watching, because we have a 26-foot billboard, on our truck, and everybody's watching.
Yep.
And you forget your blinker on the roundabout a couple times, and people are going to be mad at you and never going to use your service because you forgot that blinker 6 years ago.
Yep. And I talk to people all the kids' pickups or birthday parties, and what do you do? Oh, I run the Ben Buzz. Oh yeah, I follow like a lot of people out there that know who I am.
Mm-hmm. They know who your publication is. Yeah.
I don't put my face out there a ton, and so I don't think I've had anyone come up to me yet. I'm like, oh, I know you. I'm waiting for that day. I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Ben Buzz! Ben Buzz!
Yes, here's your free meal, sir. I'm waiting for that day.
Exactly. No, on the house for him, he's a celebrity. I got recognized one time in my whole life, and I've never forgotten it. I was at a restaurant. Are you that guy with the moving company? Yeah, that's me. Never forgot it. He didn't know my name, but he recognized me. It's the best thing ever happened to me. We're about ready to wrap this bad boy up. We got busy days ahead of us. Let's leave everybody with remind them where they can find you, how they can sign up to never miss a beat here in Bend.
Sure, benbuzz.com. There's a little subscribe widget on the page there. You can sign up there, give me your email, and I will send you a newsletter every Tuesday and Friday morning at 6 a.m. sharp.
Sweet.
Keep you in the know.
All right, I love it. Well, it's been a beautiful day here with Ben Buzz, Derek Carlson. This is Nate Becker. Venture on, my friends.
Let's do it.
Let's freaking do it, man.